Becky, welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to make a tomato soup, but it's not just an ordinary tomato soup, it's got hidden vegetables, so it's quite useful to work towards your 5 a day with this. You start off with an onion, which I've peeled and partly chopped. I want to just show you that to be safe you need to work with a bridge with your fingers. So tuck 3 away, hold onto the onion, cut between the bridge and just hold the pieces together while you're cutting. Turn it and cut then across them and you're completely safe. There you are, that's how to cut your onions safely. That's going to go in the saucepan. We're going to cook that in a few minutes, but we need to get everything else ready as well. So I've roughly chopped a potato. I've got a pepper. The safest and easiest way to avoid the seeds in your pepper is to simply cut down the sides. And you can see I've got 3 there, which I don't want. I'll get rid of those. And then cut down the other side of your pepper. Cut off in strips. Take off the bottom, and then you are left with all the seeds attached to the stalk, safely out of the way. This just needs to be roughly chopped, so hold on to it. Getting through the skin is sometimes an issue, so use the point of your knife. Dig in. Roughly chopped pepper. And then across there. And the bottom piece, just again roughly chopped. So that's ready. Now the next thing we need is a grated carrot. You can just cut it into small pieces, but if you grate it, it cooks much more quickly. So I haven't taken the end off because it gives me something to hold on to, and I'm going to put that in the compost. Go down as far as you can towards the end of the carrot. There you are, that's about as far as I can go, so that's going in the compost bucket. Right, so those are the vegetables prepared, so now we need to go over to the cooker and I'll show you what we do next. Now, we've got our onion in our pan. I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm just going to gently fry that for a couple of minutes. So, not much happening at the moment, but that's going to soften. I want it to just get soft. I don't want it to get brown because browned onions do have a bitter flavour. We don't want that. So we're going to just soften our onions before we add the other vegetables. Starting to sizzle a little bit. I've got a spoon that's made of silicone. It won't melt. It does look like a plastic spoon, but don't worry, it's not going to melt. So beginning to sizzle a little bit. You can just about hear it, I think. If you are a garlic lover, you can put a couple of cloves of garlic into this, which just improves the flavour a little bit. But this is a much more grown-up tomato soup than certainly you find on a can. So, softened onions. Now, you see they're just beginning to turn a little bit yellow, sizzling quite nicely. And to that now we add our vegetables. So in go the carrots, in go potato, pepper, and we need to stir. What we're doing, rather noisily, is just improving the flavour of the vegetables. If you fry them a little bit, it brings out their flavours. You do need to keep it moving though, because the carrot will stick. So at this stage, we're now going to just turn it down a little bit. We're going to add 500 ml of cold water, so listen for the sizzle. There we are, that's better. We're going to add 350 grams of Italian chopped tomatoes. And we're going to add a vegetable stock cube. Turn it up again so it doesn't take too long to boil. In it goes. You don't have to break it up, you're going to stir it in there. And now we're going to add half a teaspoon of sugar. The reason for this is that tin tomatoes have quite a lot of acid in them. If you add just a little bit of sugar, it makes the tomatoes taste more tomatoey. So give it a jolly good stir. It's got to come to the boil, and when it's boiled we'll put the lid on and we'll simmer it for 20 minutes. Now the soup has had 20 minutes simmering. It's cooked, the pieces are all nice and soft, so it's time to blend it. Now we're going to blend this until all the lumps have gone, but do remember to keep the stick blender in the soup. Don't lift it out, it will spray you with hot soup. We're nearly there. Give it a quick stir and just see if anything appears. No, we're done. Turn it off and then there's no risk to anybody. Go in the sink. Now you do need to taste your soup always because it can need a little more seasoning. So very hot, be careful. A little taste from the side. Oh, it's nice. It does just need a little more pepper though. So, it's ready to serve. But if you've got more than you need, the best way to preserve it is to pour it into a jug, and then you can use one of these pour and straw bags, and then you can put the surplus into the freezer for when you want it the next time. So that's avoiding any wastage if you've made more than you need today. So those are called pour and straw bags. So there we are, tomato and vegetable soup.